You were made to be ruled. In the end, you will always kneel.
The Marvel superhero set finally gives the villain creature type a true mechanical identity in Magic the Gathering. Instead of relying on a generic go-wide strategy, this deck is built on ruthless board manipulation and relentless card selection, driven entirely by two synergistic mechanics, Menace and Connive. First, you have Menace. By fielding cards like Madam Hydra, you completely strong-arm the combat step. Menace strains your opponent's resources by forcing them into awkward double blocks, making it incredibly difficult to defend without losing their best creatures. It allows you to slip damage through and keep the pressure high easily. But the real engine of the deck is Connive. Masterminds like Kang Temporal Tyrant and AIM Scientists allow you to stack the deck in your favor sneakily. Every time you connive, you draw and discard, perfectly sculpting your hand while simultaneously buffing your board with +1/+1 counters. It turns an apparent downside like discarding cards into a massive advantage, filling your graveyard for reanimation synergies while dodging dead draws. Add in instant speed interaction like Lethal Scheme, which lets your creatures connive while acting as premium removal, and you have an engine that constantly churns through your library. To actually unite these mechanics and win a game of Commander, you need the ultimate unifier, Loki the Deceiver. At 4 mana, this Grixis Commander perfectly embodies how this archetype wants to play. He comes equipped with a built-in coastal piracy effect, drawing you a card whenever your villains connect for damage, which is incredibly easy when your board is packed with Menace. But his real power is his attack trigger. Whenever Loki attacks, he creates a non-legendary illusory copy of another villain you control. That token enters the battlefield attacking alongside him and dissipates at the end of the turn. Because these tokens are fully entering the battlefield, we want to load up our deck to the brim with devastating enter the battlefield triggers and attack synergies. Imagine creating a free attacking copy of Dr. Doom, King of Latveria, or Ultron Unlimited every single combat step. You flood the board with insane, temporary value while drawing a fistful of cards. So how do we build the ultimate mechanical syndicate? We are breaking down the absolute best synergies, combat tricks, and masterminds to fill out your 99. Here are the 10 essential masterminds and tools required to establish absolute dominance with your Loki the Deceiver mechanical syndicate. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get into it. Number 10, Villainous Hideout. Every mastermind needs a lair to set their plans in motion and recover after doing battle with the forces of justice. Villainous Hideout is a fantastic utility land that not only fixes your mana, but also allows your villains to connive. It activates our primary mechanical engine right from the mana base. Number 9, Spymaster's Vault. We're doubling down on utility lands here. Spymaster's Vault is another land that lets you connive, but this time it triggers when creatures die. Villains are far more apt to kill than heroes, and in a deck that actively wants to discard cards to accrue power, having a land that turns board wipes and combat trades into pure card selection is incredibly valuable. Number 8, Lethal Scheme. In Commander, the true villain at the table is the player who holds the power of yes or no. Lethal Scheme is a premium spot removal spell that can cast completely tapped out thanks to Convoke. Better yet, the creatures you tap to cast it get to connive. This is a perfectly on-theme, highly efficient way to shut down your opponent's plans. Number 7, Villainous Wrath. Sometimes spot removal is not enough, and you need to send a much larger message. Villainous Wrath is our mass removal effect. When the heroes are amassing a commanding board state, you drop this to completely wipe them out. It is the ultimate reset button that lets you take out a player and establish absolute dominance. Number 6, Moonstone, Harsh Mistress. Our deck relies heavily on the connive mechanic, meaning we are deliberately discarding a lot of cards. Moonstone turns that apparent downside into a massive card advantage. She allows you to exile those discarded cards and cast them from exile until the end of the next turn. Suddenly, your connive triggers are essentially drawing you extra cards instead of forcing a trade-off. Number 5, Chameleon, Master of Disguise. Synergizing perfectly with Moonstone and our connive engines, Chameleon is a clone effect equipped with the Mayhem mechanic. If you discard Chameleon in the same turn, Mayhem allows you to cast him straight from the graveyard. The synergy here is completely flawless. You connive, discard Chameleon, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, and then just cast Chameleon from the grave anyway to copy the best thing on the board. Number 4. Madam Hydra. While the masterminds plot, you need an army of fodder to do the actual dirty work. Madam Hydra generates a massive army of menacing henchmen. Because they have Menace, they are incredibly tough to block, forcing your opponents into unfavorable trades and slowly suffocating their board state. Before the final 3, and while she lacks the proper creature type, Min, Wily Illusionist, is an absolute powerhouse in this mechanical syndicate. Since the illusory copies created by Loki naturally dissipate during your end step, they trigger Min to cheat massive permanents, even extra lands, directly onto the battlefield for free. Her synergy with our Connive engine is equally flawless. Simply drawing your second card each turn generates even more illusory fodder to fuel your ruthless board state. Number 3. Vulture, Scheming Scavenger. Winning through combat means we need reliable evasion. Vulture gives our villains flying, allowing your conniving masterminds to completely soar over mundane, ground-based heroes like Captain America and the Incredible Hulk. Number 2. Kang, Temporal Tyrant. Now we get to the heavy hitters. Kang connives on attack, instantly triggering our deck's core engine, but his real value is his passive ability. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, Kang drains a life from each opponent. With Loki's coastal piracy effect and all of our conniving, you will be triggering this constantly, bleeding the entire table out while you dig for your final pieces. Number 1. Ultron Unlimited. This is the absolute centerpiece of the deck. Like Kang, Ultron connives on attack, but whenever any creature connives, Ultron allows you to pay mana to create robot villains. Paired with Loki, creating attacking illusory copies every single combat step, Ultron floods the board with mechanical dorks while sculpting your perfect hand. By combining an evasive, menacing army with a ruthless, conniving card draw engine, you create a board state where your opponents are hard-pressed to find ways to defend themselves within the normal rules of the game. You stop playing fair, and you start playing exactly like a villain. If you liked this breakdown, don't forget to like and subscribe for more Magic the Gathering videos. We will see you in the next one.
I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.